So I used to think that you chose a career path, you get to marching, maybe there'll be a ladder to climb somewhere. But now I'm thinking that I'd rather have my career path be a river, a very cool, deep river. In today's video, we're going to talk about the north sector of your home, which in Feng Shui principles is about your career and life path. It's very personal and it's the beginning of everything. So what if we consider not a career path, but a career river? I don't know. Let's explore. Hi, my name's Erica Meyer, and I'm an architect and a Feng Shui nerd. I love the combination of interior design with life design principles, and that with awareness and adjustments to areas of your home, the possibility of shifting your life that 1% into a new direction and a new possibilities. So let me recap first the 9-square grid where we see north at the top. I do that because as an architect in North America and just as a person with GPS in North America, north is always at the top of the page. So I have shifted around traditional Feng Shui map here to have the north at the top where you can see career. And it is a deeply personal space where you decide where you want your life to go. As opposed to on the southern where there's more sunlight, they are more public-facing qualities versus the north. And once you have that awareness and that direction within the north, all of this then percolates down to the other sectors. So let me tell you about the moment when I made that connection with the flowing career path. I was in a corporate training with Helen Tupper, and she and her co-author created the Squiggly path, Squiggly careers, which we think we're on this ladder. It's rarely like that for so many people. And as the panel was talking about their different career paths and they were drawing, it reminded me of a meandering river. And that's when the connection, like, oh, meandering river, career path, water, flowing shapes, there's something there. So when I was in 5th grade, I chose to be an architect. And I aligned everything to then set up through high school, to go to the right college, to start my career. All of that was just boom, boom, boom. Very linear. Go to school, get a job, have a career. And I was in a traditional architecture firm for quite a while. And I got the call from a friend it was an architecture job, but in a corporate setting. So that was a leap that I was willing to take. And I was on that ship for 20 years and loved it. I need to disembark. I don't quite know what I'm going to do, but I am going to do a couple hundred YouTube videos about my passion for Feng Shui. So now I look at those many different jobs as different size boats. A smaller boat, an enormous boat with thousands of people on it. Maybe I'm in a one-person kayak right now. And when I think about boats and the roles that I've played on those boats, the ones that I love the most are when I'm in this teaching mode. And guess what? Both of my parents are teachers. And I always thought I chose this vastly different career path. So maybe the apple doesn't fall that far from the tree as I thought. One other mindset shift I recently heard on a Mel Robbins podcast talking about Terry Crews's Squiggly path, a career path. And at a particular low point, he was doing a menial job and hating it, decided that he needed to change his mindset to say, what if they were paying me $1 million for this job? And he committed to that. And that set his whole career path on a different direction. No matter what your job is on that boat, whatever it may be, if you're the teacher, if you're cleaning things, it's important. You're on that boat for a reason. And there's something to be learned. And with a good attitude, it will take that boat in a different direction, a good direction. I love that. So even if you feel like you're on a slow current right now, an aimless ship, know you matter and that you can change directions. So let me tell you about architectural things that might help. The mind shift is always first. And then these architectural elements and objects are just supporting that mind shift change, right? They're reminding me about my first home that we had. It was move-in ready. Yeah, we would have done renovations eventually, but it was fine that we bought it and sold it as is. Any of the other renovations, any other changes that we did in the house were just paint and some light fixtures. But years later, when the new owners sold it once again, take a look at what they did with their renovation. I don't know if it was intentional or intuitive or just luck, but they chose the appropriate colors for the north sector. Look at those blue cabinets. Sure, it was also very trendy at that time, so it could have just been luck, but they were drawn there. They still had plenty of choices when they were renovating. And they sold that house for exponentially more than we did. The market was in their favor, but did this also boost it just a little bit? I love that possibility. And then we come to today where we are sitting in the north sector of my home, which is still very much a work in progress. And we've got two big issues that I'm working on still. One is the wall color and the other is the light fixture. First, let me tell you about the wall color. It started as agreeable gray. About 2 years ago, I was itching for color in my life. And so I went a little too far and painted this a blue, and it was like too far. So then very quickly, before my mom showed up for Christmas, called the painter and like, can we get this current brown color, which is an overreaction. And all I can think now that with this river analogy in my head is muddy water. It is a lovely color in some other part of my house or some other house someday, but all I can think of is muddy water now in this sector of my home. So we're actually going to end up going back to agreeable gray, which, again, thinking of the river analogy, is like those big boulders alongside the river. And then the light fixture. Oftentimes, the recommendation from Feng Shui consultants or books is to place a fountain in the north sector of your home. And again, I think it was my mentality back in the day, like, oh, I already know my path, whatever. I don't need a fountain. It didn't make sense to me. Is this cat fountain enough? But now that I'm thinking more deeply about water, the idea of a fountain makes so much sense as it's the wellspring of all of your thoughts and as it's bursting out and percolating through all the other areas of your life. So this light fixture was chosen in 2018. I knew it was a trendy choice at the time, but I also didn't have any other vision for the space. And I liked how it was long and wide enough for above this wide table. And I knew that the metal and the glass were aligned with Feng Shui supportive elements. But we had a friend walk in one day and he's like, oh, you've got the hydrogen molecule above your heads. I'm like, no, that is not what I want. So the goal now is this gorgeous Murano glass, very fountain-like chandelier in blue, that everything about these tubes and the color just symbolically speak to me about that wellspring in our home. So, future video right there of the before and after that we're sitting in. And I think that unless you are paying for an interior designer to fully think out your home and then also add in Feng Shui colors and materials and elements, you've got to be open to the idea that things are going to ebb and flow. You know, it just brings me joy to kind of learn along this path. So I hope you do too. So things to consider, you know, what kind of a path or river are you on right now? And if you don't like it, let's get you on to something different. When I was originally thinking about a path, it was like a dirt road that you could twist an ankle on, or I don't know. It was treacherous. So I asked a friend, what would your ideal career path look like symbolically? And she's like, oh, the yellow brick road. Like, oh my God, that sounds a lot nicer than my dirt path. Certainly there still are the trees and monkeys that are attacking you and poppies putting you to sleep, but it's better than a dirt path. No, my husband loves hiking. So for him, maybe a dirt path is not so bad, but to each their own. That is why it's deeply personal in the North. You choose the symbolism that works for you. So please, in the comments, let me know, what is your path? And do you have elements already within your home, like blue pots and blue plates, that support that color intuitively? So please like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments your thoughts, and check out this video on the southwest sector of your home, which is all about love. See you next time.